Why didn't they call me? Floyd, can you call Joe Cronin? Hit me up on Twitter at JCS Commentary, Floyd, and let's get some announcing over this. Ready? Let's try that again. Like, what are we doing? Oh wait, why do I gotta what is this? What? St. Petersburg? What the hell is this? I just got a virus, guys. Oh my God, St. Petersburg, Russia. What the fuck, dude? I just got a virus from fucking Floyd Money Mayweather. You scumbag. All right, let's reload that page. What just happened? What the fuck just happened, dude? Okay, let's try that again. All right, here we go. June 6th, Miami. Mayweather Promotions and Showtime present Mayweather versus Logan Paul, the champ, the Maverick. June 6th, Floyd Money Mayweather versus Logan Paul. Something like that, Come on, let's do something. Can we get something going here? I mean, what are you doing? And then you give me a freaking virus, dude. What the hell's up with that? Your website gave me a virus. Everybody saw it live. You just saw it live. The thing was giving me a virus. And something about Russia. So that's bizarre. I don't know, Deadline.com. I don't really think it was Logan Paul or Floyd Money Mayweather's Instagram. I actually think it was Deadline.com, who just got all of our information exposed to Russia. Great. That's what I like. I like when Russia has my stuff.
I could do this.
Great. Thanks. Joe Cronin, patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Enjoy the full episode over there. But let's continue a little bit here. I was going to say, I was going to change. You know what? I am going to go there. I'm going to go into the Rich Swann stuff. So initially, you guys wanted me to talk about this, and I will go to Twitter as well. But initially, you guys, listen, Don Callis, before I get into whether I think it was good or not, and everything about the match real quick, I just want to point out that Don Callis is a legend. By the way, if you guys are Floyd Money Mayweather, Logan Paul people, please leave it in the comments down below. Who's going to win, Logan Paul or Floyd Money Mayweather? I mean, dude, I'm never betting against Floyd Money Mayweather. So, no, I'm not doing it. His fights drive me nuts. And after he beat Conor McGregor, I mean, does Logan Paul, we really think Logan Paul is going to beat Floyd Money Mayweather Jr.? I mean, after he beat Conor McGregor? I mean, dude, I'm sorry. If Conor McGregor, coming from outside the sport, a UFC friggin' cage fighter, you know what I mean, can't defeat Floyd Money Mayweather in a boxing fight match because of the technical skills and ability of him, there's no way to me. You know what I mean? This is over for Logan Paul's. This is the payout, right? This is the goal of the Paul brothers. At least I think so. I think the clear goal is get huge payout, get amazingly big box office fight. Okay, be done. Like build up this excitement through these little fights and exhibitions leading to the road of a massive fight with a legitimate star. That's what I believe. It's got to be the end game. And listen, if you lose, you can never fight again, or you can once in a while come back for some more of those exhibitions with lower talented people. And you can say, hey, listen, Floyd Money Mayweather beat me, but I beat 7 other guys, so whatever, and you can keep going. But I think you would think the end game is get to biggest fight, biggest payday possible. If you win that biggest payday, well, now the game is still on if you want. But maybe it's over even if you win that payday because that's what you're looking for. Maybe these guys are looking for that. They're looking for $10 million, $20 million, $30 million, $40 million, $50 million, like a big, giant payday. I mean, is that what it is? So if Logan Paul loses, he's kind of like, all right, but I mean, Conor McGregor lost too, so then you can still try to pivot towards Conor, right? Like if Jake Paul lost to, if Logan Paul lost to Money Mayweather, I mean, then you could pivot towards, well, I'll beat Conor McGregor, though. You couldn't beat Mayweather, I couldn't beat him, but I can beat you. And there's still a fight to be had there. So this whole thing seems, planned out in a certain way. I get it. Makes sense to me. Anyway, so what do you think? Leave it down below. I want to know what you guys think about that fight. We're going to talk about it later tonight. Of course, tonight is AEW and the review of AEW live right here on Joe Cronin Show. If you don't know what AEW is, it's wrestling. It's an alternative to WWE now. It's been around now for over a year and a half. And it's interesting stuff, man. It's certainly better than WWE right now, but we'll talk about that later. If you guys, well, anyway, let's move on to Don Callis. Don Callis is a savior at this point. Simply a savior is Don Callis. Phenomenal on the mic. Don Callis built this thing up to be amazing. You know, this could have been a match between a bikini and a flying dildo, and I would have bought this pay-per-view or watched it eventually because Don Callis did such a great job. I don't know why AEW didn't do a great job of promoting it on their end. They kind of just like glossed over it like it's a secret you're not supposed to know about. Very interesting stuff how Impact Wrestling, or rather AEW, didn't really advertise it too much. They sort of just said, you know, he's got this match on the weekend, and then there was advertising that happened. So maybe they didn't want to plug it for free because Impact was advertising. You know, I don't know who's helping who here. I'm not really sure. So that I don't understand the way, and we'll talk more about this later too with Jake. I don't understand the way that they're advertising. It's very strange to me the way they're advertising. But whatever. Anyway, Don Callis is a savior, cuts amazing promos leading up to this. Great introduction for Kenny Omega the other night. And now we're going to get into the match. And everybody on YouTube, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys tonight for the AEW review. Everybody on Patreon, just continue listening as we continue here. So, we'll just wait for the YouTube. Here's some other videos you might have missed on YouTube. But, guys, jump over to patreon.com/JoeCornShow right now to listen to the rest of this episode so you don't miss out Patreon, my talk here. People on YouTube, thanks. You know the deal. Everybody else, you know, Swan, dude, I don't know what's going on. Swan and Kenny Omega have a long match. You know, I thought it was pretty good. I liked it a lot, you know, for the most part. The commentary was weird because I didn't know Matt Stryker was going to be there. You know, I mean, Matt Stryker, obviously great on commentary, but he's very alpha. And so him and Morrow had this, like, weird dynamic, I don't know, throughout the night. What did you guys think of I got to watch it again, to be honest. I don't know what I want to say about that yet 100%. So what did you guys think about it? Give me some more thoughts in my head. I want to watch it again, though, before I really comment on everything. And, you know, I did commentary with Matt Stryker, and, you know, but it wasn't on a big stage, so he didn't give a crap. You know what I mean? If it was on, like, pay-per-view or something, you know, he would have been a little bit different. But whatever. Morrow helped sell this for me, and Don Callis really sold it for me. Two non-wrestlers, which I think is very strange. So you think about this, it's very strange because Mauro Ranallo sold this pay-per-view for me, or sold the show along with Don Callis. You know, and neither one of those guys are wrestlers. So it's just very bizarre that, you know, those are the two guys that sold it. At one point, towards the middle or so, you know, Swan almost killed himself. It looked like he pile drove himself into the mat, and that I still can't tell if that was planned out to happen or not. It looked ridiculous. I can't believe it was. It looked like he may have had a concussion, or he really got either Swan got a concussion or he actually blew himself up in the match. I don't know, but he looked done in the last 5-8 minutes or whatever. He just seemed like a rag doll. It felt like Kenny Omega was having his blow-up doll match again. So I don't know if, you know, Swan got hurt during that botchy-looking thing or if it was planned, and I don't know. I'm not sure. But then, you know, whatever. Kenny Omega wins, and everybody knew Kenny Omega was going to win. So it was the most ridiculous thing. I thought they did a terrible job of making you believe Swan was going to win. I thought that, you know, they were putting over Omega, which was bizarre. The home commentary was putting over Omega. Like, Stryker was putting over Omega. They were all just putting over Omega like crazy. You know, and nobody stuck up for Swan and put over Swan at all. I mean, very strange. It's almost like, I don't know, man. It was very bizarre. It was almost like, remember how Swan got fired from the WWE for that domestic thing? It's almost like they found out Swan beat his family or something, and they were like, okay, let's get the belt off him before that comes out. And then, let's sort of like trash him and then talk all about Kenny Omega, almost to divert from that. I mean, I know that's not what's happening. It's a terrible thing to bring up and say, but, you know, it's just very strange. I don't know. Nobody put over Swan, really. It was weird to me. I thought they should have, especially when you really believe, like 99.9%, you're like, hey, Kenny Omega's winning the match. So you're like, they're going to really try to put over that Swan's going to win. But then they didn't. not only did they not put it over, but then in the last 8-10 minutes, Swan looked like shit. And so therefore, you know, I don't know. And maybe that made you think he would come back and win, but, you know, I'm not really sure. Anyway, thought the match was good. Liked it. Loved the build-up. I felt like I was an 8 out of 10 potentially for that match, so that's great. I have to watch it again, to be honest, because I was pretty hyped and also a little buzzed when I watched it the other day. So we'll find out what I think about it later. But you know, crazy match, nice stuff. Certainly better than WWE. So there you go. YouTube is hiding videos again. People are talking about that. I agree. That is definitely going on. Certainly happened. Certainly has happened to me. And, you know, there's no real answer right now other than just keep liking, keep commenting, keep subbing, keep being a patron so I can send you the alerts over here on Patreon. You get alerts here, you know that, usually on most things. But you won't get them on YouTube. Or it's like 50-50 you get them on YouTube. Sometimes you get them on YouTube, sometimes you don't. And if you don't, you'll get an email at least, I would think, if I'm going live especially. Although, you know, when I go live for the most part, everything's pretty set to a schedule for the most part. So you pretty much know. You know, the new Kong movie, someone asked me to look at that. I'm not into the Kong movies. I'm just not into it. But it's doing really well. I'm looking at the numbers. It's doing really well. They're going to do another one. Not only are they going to do another one, they're going to continue with this whole series of Kong and Godzilla, or at least with Kong, but probably with both Godzilla and Kong. And it looks like they're going to go towards the goofy route, in my opinion, although this has been done way back when in the old movies, I guess. They're going to go to Kong, and they're going to have Baby Kong or whatever, probably so they can do the Baby Yoda thing. And so the next movie, apparently, is going to be Baby Kong. You know, and the rumor in this movie was that they were going to do Aliens. And I guess they didn't do Aliens, really, so, or that could come, but so there's like a tease about that. But then there's a Kong. I don't know. I think they're going to do Baby Kong so they can sell a bunch of Baby Kongs. And probably in the movie, like, it'll be like Big Bad North America has Kong in a lab, Baby Kong in a lab, and Big Kong has to go save Baby Kong. I don't know. Something like that. And then, you know, maybe he needs Godzilla's help to save Baby Kong, you know. And then the aliens come down and the kaijus have to rise up and fight the aliens for Earth. Something like that. So that, I mean, that's almost like, that's sort of the Pacific Rim thing, but you know what I mean? Whatever. That's what I think is going to happen there. So there you go. For the guy, Jason, who asked me about Kong, I almost feel like Jason's Tommy NC under a fake name because he's he would bring that up. On Twitter, I asked you guys if you had any questions or topics about anything. Nobody responded to that on Twitter. I don't know what the fuck, crack people are on. They didn't want to respond to that. It's very strange. I post anything, people say all kinds of stuff. But if I say, like, send me questions, like, nobody has questions about anything. But then all day and all night, people will send me links to stuff, bring up this, that, and the other thing. But you know what happens is I lose it and I forget it, or I don't know where you put it or whatever. So it's like, when I put up a question like that, take whatever you asked me the last couple of days that I didn't respond to and stick it in there, all right? Like you stick it up my ass. Oh, boy. The guy, the other day, the guy that flipped out at the Holiday Inn, Jeremy from the Quartering, shout out to Jeremy, man. He's always been a good guy. I've known him for a long time, as you know. But he set up a GoFundMe for that kid who flipped out, who, did flip out. It was kind of weird. And that guy's getting a big GoFundMe. It's like up to $65,000 now. So he's all set for, whatever he made at Holiday Inn, which was probably $30,000-$40,000 a year. If that, I don't know. He's set for at least a couple of years until he finds another job. He may be set even more when this thing keeps climbing. It was terrible, man. He obviously reacted the wrong way, but so did the customer, just bludgeoning him. I don't know. Being belligerent towards him. I don't know what that's about. I don't know why you would do that to somebody. It's not like the guy was on a show or anything. He did it for Twitter clout and for Instagram clout. I Love Toes told me about a school shooting the other day, but I guess it wasn't. He said basically now it's a domestic shooting that turned over into a school parking lot. Parent kids were in building. Okay. So luckily no kids were hurt, at least. That's probably why you didn't hear about it. They only report about it if like 17 people die, Unless 17 people died, they're like, nah, we don't care. So Leah got her Moderna shot the other day. And, Her arm hurts her now. That okay? I had to take a break there because I got a call from my kid's school about my son's allergy stuff. Anyway, but it's on the topic of medical. Yeah, Leah got the Moderna the other day, so her arm is murdering her today. I've heard about that most people get sore arm for like a day or two after. So don't, like I would say, like, so if you get the shot at like 1 p.m. on a Tuesday, it'd be good if you were off Wednesday from work. You know what I mean? Or like you didn't have a lot to do the next day because it starts affecting you worse the next day. So, you probably, the more you can get off the day after the shot is what seems to be the good call, If you can get a couple days off, that's probably even better, though. But my allergies are in full swing right now. My nose is stuffed. My face is stuffed. My eyes are itchy. My throat feels like I got sandpaper in it. Same thing with my sons. Leah, me, we're all jacked up over here, man. I am hurting, bro. And part of it, I think, is moving away from the ocean, Because we always had allergies, though. But now that we live in the forest, basically, it's like, dude, I mean, it's way worse. You know what? I actually feel the missing of the ocean. You know what I mean? I actually can feel that I'm missing the ocean, if that makes any sense. Like, there are some times where I crave the ocean, like where I think about the blue, just beautiful feeling of the ocean when you jump into the water, and I start, like, craving it, and it gets very intense. I'm a very weird person. Like, there's no doubt about it at this point that there's just something weird about me. Like, a lot of things weird about me, but one of them is that sometimes I start craving the ocean, if that makes any sense. It's so fucking strange, but it's so true. And I want to swim out to it, and it's very weird, but it's so true, and I don't know what that is. So, but it's all I can say is it's real. And I want to like bathe in the ocean. And we're used to the sea salt and all that stuff. And I don't know, I'm just used to this. And I have to type something now, so there I go. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. I just lost my mind for a minute. Anyway, we're ready to go. Ready to go. Come on. I'm sorry.
I could do this.
All right. Let's go.
Call your mother or call your father and tell them
Leah's pussy needs a cleaning out.
No. Oh, my God. Now, why would you call your mother and father and tell them that? Why would you do that? You sicko. Lied to everybody in YouTube. And then says things like that. I mean, really disgusting and despicable. Like, should be ashamed. Should be ashamed of himself. Okay, so anyway, where was I talking about? Oh, yeah, so Moderna. So, yeah, so maybe I'm going to get the shot soon. I don't know. It's been a little bit. I just still waiting. Maybe I'll get corona and die, and then that'll be funny. I'll be like, you should have gotten your shot. But with all the variants and things like that, it's like, I wonder how it's going to work well against any of that, But, I mean, then people be like, oh, well, you put on a seatbelt, and you go, well, I wonder if I should even wear it. What if a scaffolding comes off a truck and just impales me? The seatbelt didn't help. I don't know. Maybe that's true. Maybe it isn't. I'm just cautious about everything. But I do know I got to get dressed in a few minutes. I got to get all sexed up before I go out. I can't believe that I'm going to go outside again today. I am just like... I am disgusting right now as far as allergies go. I'm like melting on myself at this point. That's what it feels like. It feels like I'm fucking melting on myself. But yeah, YouTube is hiding videos again. I mentioned that earlier. It's just a mess, man. The YouTube algorithm, it's always comes around to that moment where they want to push all the TV YouTube people now. You know what I mean? That's what they do. And we all know this. We've all said this for a long time. It's not even worth talking about more than right now because it will just bug people. They'll just be like, all right, here we go again. What are you going to complain forever? By the way, we hit 300 patrons again today, so thank you guys for that. Everybody who signed up on Patreon, really appreciate that. Tweet just tweeted out by Tim Dillon says, the amount of people who don't want to return to any type of normalcy until there is not one COVID case is staggering. Fear and compliance have become national values. God help us. That's kind of true. I mean, in a way. A little bit. I mean, the amount of people that don't want to do anything to help is weird too. But it's also the amount of people who just want to like conform like so quickly. It's very strange. You know, like, I mean, governments have to be taking a look at this and being like, you know what? We got him. If we want to get him, we got him easy. Very easy. So I am concerned about that shit. Like, no doubt about it. You know, I am. I really am. Sports news is pretty good for hockey here in Boston. Most of you don't care, so I'll only mention it for a second. You know, it's like when I listen to Bill Burr's podcast and he starts talking about a bunch of Boston sports, and I think to myself, you know, anybody who's a Bill Burr fan from outside of Boston is just got to be like, oh, fuck, no, he's going to talk about the Red Sox and the Boston Bruins and the Patriots, and they've got to be like, just no, you know, because what do they give a shit? You know, they don't care. But, man, I'll tell you what, Taylor Hall on the Bruins right now, like 5 goals or something. Like 9 points or 7 points or 5 goals, whatever. Buffalo must want to commit suicide, which they already do anyway, right? Because they're Buffalo. But they've just got to be up there, like, you know, just impale us with a spear at this point. You know, nothing works. We're the worst team. It sucks. LeBron James wants all this equality stuff, but then he fucking is a sweatshop running child fucking sweat shop running piece of garbage. Very strange. Very strange person, that guy. He's like, oh, all I care about is the equality and the whatever. It's like, no, you don't, you fucking idiot. You're a slave. You're literally a modern day systematic racism slave owner is LeBron James. By having those children do all that work in that country. That we won't mention so we don't get in trouble. We'll keep the names out of it. But you can go Google it and figure it out for yourself. It's crazy. Ridiculous. An article published yesterday essentially calls for anti-vaccine groups to be dismantled and treated by the law like terrorists and cyber criminals. You have to read it to believe it. Nature.com article. Halting the spread of coronavirus will require a high level of counteroffensive against new destructive forces. They might as well have said, they basically want to, they're hinting at killing people who don't believe in the virus. That's kind of funny. But really suppressing them, silencing them, and putting them in education facilities, which is basically re-education camps. Oh, you don't understand how viruses work? We're going to make you understand it. Yikes. And by the way, I pretty much do believe in most of the science and the things that they talk about. But I still don't want to put somebody who doesn't in a re-education camp. That's crazy. But that's real. Article by Nature.com. Courtesy of Winnie Webb. Wouldn't have seen it without her. Crazy. If you think people who are weary or don't want the vax right away are a terror threat to society, please get tested for brain worms, they say. Oh, boy. That's weird. I mean, it's weird that people, you know, don't want to help and do some of the right thing, but it's also weird that people want to force you into doing things certain ways. Very strange. CNN's Jack Tapper implies it's racist to think Biden is a moderate. It's racist to think that Joe Biden is a moderate. What the hell does that mean? There's some weird stuff out there. I don't know. I'm waiting for the porn with Joe Biden. Imagine if a porn with Joe... Like, what's the thing that will break the country? What's the last thing? What's the next straw? Like, one thing that could happen. Like, I mean, forget aliens. That would probably be cool. But, I mean, what's the next thing that could break the country? Like, destroy the country. Make everybody just go, oh, my God. You know what I mean? Like, what's the thing? I think it would be a sex tape released with underage people, Joe Biden and Donald Trump. I think if that video came out, that's the end of... And Kamala Harris, for some reason. Kamala Harris is there, too. And maybe, like, who's somebody else that everybody loves? You know, like maybe Tom Hanks, right? Like, Tom Hanks... All right, Tom Hanks, Bill Gates, Joe Biden, but also Donald Trump and Kamala Harris are at a sex party, like an Epstein Island type of party, and there's obviously some sensitive people there that shouldn't be there, that is illegal. and they're there, and it's all on video, and the video gets out there, and even though people say, "Oh my God, you can't show this," they're a minor, whatever. But everyone's like, nope, it's got to be. You have to see this because no one would believe it, and you have to see this, and you have to believe it because it's so scary and important. And it did. It gets out everywhere, and everybody sees it. And oh my God, like you find out that everything, whatever side you were on, whatever you believed in, whatever, none of it matters because they're all gobbling fucking children. Like, I mean, is that the thing that would send us into a tailspin of hell? I think that would be the thing that would finally take the country out right there. Because then everybody who was like rooting for any side at that point would flip out. They'd be like, oh my God, what is going on? And they would probably just take, like, the whole government would be turned over. Like, people would storm the governments, the Hollywood, everywhere. Because you got, Tom Hanks, Bill Gates, and then all the presidencies and everybody involved, and it's on video, or even if the videos leak out separately by themselves with these people, not even with each other, but and then you find out it's just everyone's a psycho fucking devil worshiper, you know what I mean? And then the whole just society breaks down, right? Like you hate computers and technology because of Bill Gates is in the video and the vaccines, and you don't trust any of that. And then your president, whichever one you like, is there too, so now you don't trust him. Everybody's there, and then Hollywood's there with Tom Hanks and a couple other, and you just start throwing up all over yourself and your friend and your family. You just start butchering yourself. Even you just like I'm gonna cut myself because of this, and you just lose your goddamn mind. I mean, that is possible. It's highly unlikely, but yeah, that would be. Someone said, like, what would be the next thing to send this whole thing into a tailspin? Well, there you go. That's what would send, in my opinion, that's what would send this country and this world into a point of no return at that point. Videos like that come out all at once, and you're forced to watch them, or whoever can fake this video using the technology now that they have. You can fake anybody in any video. So wait till that starts happening, right? Because then that's the next thing. What if just terrorist organizations start working on creating videos of, think about Donald Trump real quick, not to make, and who cares what side politically you're on? It doesn't even matter what I'm about to say. My point is, remember when they said Donald Trump was with these Russian women pissing on them and Russia has the video or somebody? And then it was found out that probably wasn't true. But CNN ran with it for like weeks. And then it was found out, okay, it's probably not true. And then they never came out and said, we made a mistake. They didn't. But everybody believed it. Right on one side believed that was 100% true. The right believed it was not true. The left believed it was 100% true. And it turned out it probably wasn't true, or at least they didn't have proof. So, but imagine if somebody did a video fake of that and released it in a certain way. How are you going to counteract that and prove it's fake? And I know that there are ways to do it, but if it was done beautifully, perfectly, I mean, there's got to be, we're worried about them working on spacecrafts and interstellar technology we don't even know about. How real is it really that hard to fake a video and to do a deep fake on a video and photo now? Can you imagine the American public, how easily convinced they would be by something like that, released the right way? Guys, we are in trouble in the next 5 to 10 years because you thought it was crazy right now with just the he said, she said stuff that they could lie about on the news and everywhere else. Wait till the real concrete fake evidence stuff starts coming out. And that leads me to believe this, folks. That leads me to believe this, that you may have to be chipped or ID'd or chipped in some way to ID yourself. And I'm dead serious about this. If you become a politician or a Hollywood star or a prominent person, you may need to get a tattooed in your skin, in areas on your skin. You may also need to have a chip involved on your skin, a GPS chip that monitors everywhere you go and monitors the ability that if someone takes a photo of you or someone takes a video of you using enhanced, secure technology, you can actually zoom in and find out if that scar or tattoo is printed in your body somewhere. On your forehead, on your neck, on your hands. This is some next level science stuff that no one's talking about, I believe, that I'm just bringing up right now. This will blow your mind, right? Think about what I'm just saying right now. It's very important. And that may start with Hollywood celebrities and people like that who don't want to be framed for things. And it's like, okay, well, according to your GPS locator, you never were in France, so this wasn't you right away. Or according to your GPS thing, you never were in the Francis Hotel in New York City during this week at all, so this is definitely not true. And we zoomed in and enhanced your neck to where your identifier chip is, and there is no identifier chip. Or it looks like a faked one, clearly a faked one. So that's going to be the only way you can save yourself from video fakery or photo fakery in the future. And wow, we have not talked about that at all. You talk about a Final Frontier news episode, boom. I just nailed you with a Joe Cronin. I hope you guys remember that, and I hope you listened to this point, because this was, I thought, one of the better points of this whole entire podcast. I'm out of here, guys. Thanks so much for listening. I love you, and I will see you later. Thanks for being patrons and getting this bonus episode only on Patreon. I will release a clip of this probably somewhere, but keep coming back. I'm going to try to do more of these at least once a week or twice a week, or more if you like it. We'll see you later. Thank you for being patrons, man. Thank you, guys. Love you. Keep it wet.